where were you guys heads at before this, when you hadn't done any SEO, you hadn't looked at anything like that? Kind of what were you thinking to yourselves before kind of getting in touch?
Yeah, before we got in touch with yourself, is SEO was on our radar from the beginning, because we knew it's a long-term play. Like, you got like meta advertising, which is more short-term. You can cook that quicker, and there's we were looking at the short-term, medium, and long-term, and we knew SEO was the long-term. But because when we started out as a brand new brand, it wasn't at the forefront of our priority list, because we knew we needed to get the business off the ground, and SEO was like, once we could kind of got things off the ground and it was cooking, then we're like, all right, let's bring in SEO. And I looked at different people. Actually, I did reached out to people in my network about SEO, and there's no one that I really stood out, or the fees were unreasonable for the level of work they would do in return. So we kind of just put it off for a while, actually. But I was always thinking, like, now we need to get SEO going, because this is probably a 12-month kind of almost sprint in essence. So it's probably perfect timing when we were introduced to yourself, Dom, because like the stars seem to have aligned, because we needed SEO at that time. And the thing is, like, we were heavily reliant on paid traffic. So like there was like very minimal, if not any, organic traffic coming in whatsoever, unless people were just kind of searching the branded terms of Fifth Ray or Cosmic Hue. And so I was open-minded from the beginning. I didn't really have any skepticisms about SEO. Bear in mind, it's a new remit to me. When coming in, I didn't know what it involved. My knowledge was very limited in the sense of like a keyword search and trying to bid for like the keywords at a low cost and kind of high search volume and things of that nature. But you've really helped me and Gurge at Fifth Ray to educate us on the process, like understanding your methodology behind it, why you're doing it, the reasoning, and leading into the blog post. So actually, I was unaware of actually how you would stylize the writing within our website to extract the keywords so we can rank better in, say, Google. And you've been trying to help us rank in AI, which is fundamental moving forward and really exciting, in fact. So, and the blog posts that you have created have just been stellar, like absolutely incredible blog posts, every single one. Like, and because you keep your ear to the ground, you look at industry trends, and you're always trying to up your game. Like, the quality of your articles always getting better. The tools and technology that you're using, you're always adapting and you're flexible. Like, for me as a business owner, I always look out for people who are always passionate about the industry that they're working in, like yourself in paid search. Like, but you're always learning to how to hone your craft and become better at what you can do for yourself and the service that you provide. And I mean, that to me it stands head and shoulders above a lot of other qualities that I look for, especially for yourself in SEO. So I've been super happy. I mean, like, we've continued our relationship since July, I believe, and it's now May of 2025. So, and it's going to continue. Like, I foresee a long-term partnership with yourself. So, and anyone listening to this, like, I fully recommend yourself, Dom, to everybody, because like your eye for detail, your knowledge, but also your warm nature as well. Like, I think you can be incredible at what you do, but you have to be able to work with that person. And like, your communication style, actually something I've not touched on. Your communication style is probably one of the best in terms of um documenting the notes, how you relay that information to us, how you organize through your Notion boards, and how you structure all the information, and then being able to articulate a full roadmap ahead, a sprint, as you call it, a supernova, which is over a 12-week period. And you can actually see what's going to happen over these 12 weeks. It's not like going with the flow. It's like we get the holistic view, and then you've been sticking to every step of the way, and without very little deviation, because there hasn't been a requirement to deviate from that. So I've been really, really happy with what you have to offer. And the other thing is, like, what I look for is, for yourself, you say, right, I'm going to work on X task this week. and you always deliver it. And I know, like, I don't have to worry about DOM or think about DOM. I could just leave you to it, and then you come back and you say, these are the results that we produced. And on the topic of results, like, our results just continue to climb and climb. Like when we look at the Google Analytics and Umami, like you can just see the growth of people reading the articles, the traffic to the website through the blog specifically. The blog impressions just continue to climb, and we're over like 100K blog impressions since the moment we started, which is huge now. That's a massive milestone, and it's all exciting because we continue to just go in the upward trajectory at all times, which is, you know, different elements of like Fifth Ray, you don't see just a continuous upward trend, but with yourself and SEO, that's all we've been seeing. So I've been grateful for your service and working for yourself, and it's been brilliant so far. So this is to a longer term relationship between Fifth Ray and yourself.
Wow, Manny, that was absolutely incredible, and I really appreciate everything you said there. And like, you know, I'm very grateful for you guys as well. It's just like, you know, Fifth Ray as a brand, both you and Gurj, you know, incredibly professional but also warm people, you know, to work with. It's like, it's just the exact kind of brand that I want to, you know, help put my, you know, skills and services towards, that, like, to grow what you've got, you know, because you've got a really special product. You know, both you and Gurj, like, I mean, your story as well, which is how the product was created. Like, it's just a fantastic thing to be a part of. So it's an absolute pleasure from my side as well.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I do appreciate everything that you've done for Fifth Ray, because you've been, it's kind of like the unsung hero, I think, SEO, because it kind of like, you don't get the glory as much. I think it's like that you get the, I don't know, something like a um, paid media, like meta advertising. You can kind of see the direct results there and then. Like, all right, you pay for an ad, it's brought in this traffic, it got this ROAS, it costs this much to acquire this customer and so forth. But with SEO, it's because it's such a slow burner, you kind of reap the rewards over a long period of time, and then you can kind of retrospectively look back and appreciate the hard work and the results at that point. So I think having like yourself, like it's you're like the unsung hero, actually, kind of, for Fifth Ray in a lot of ways. So I'm excited. I've been excited working with you from the beginning. Like, I'm sure, like, if Gurj was on this call today, like, he'll be singing your praises. Like, he's always saying to me, like, Dom's a brilliant guy, and he's always like, well, how can we get him working like with Fifth Ray? And I'm like, he's running his own business. That's not going to happen. But knowing that we can have like just this ongoing relationship between High Digital and Fifth Ray, and, you know, personally between ourselves and yourself, like, it's the way we want to go. And I think we're in such a strong position. Like, for anyone who's listening to me talk about this, like, I kind of selfishly don't want to be boasting about you to every single person to spread your time thin, but obviously I want you to succeed and be the best and have a huge agency and be absolutely successful. So, like, everyone should be like knocking on your door and working with you specifically and exclusively as well.
Thank you, Manny. And it's funny what you say about SEO being unsung hero. You know what it reminded me of is like Cosmic Q. When people like take it over time, like, yeah, they might do some like crazy detox or some sort of like thing where they just try and get a result like immediately, but like taking like Cosmic Q every single day, it just like compounds over time, and just like, you know, it's like a slow burner in a way. I mean, powerful, but like, you know, a slow burner in the same way, where you keep taking it and taking it, and it's like, you look back over a year, you go, wow, I've taken Cosmic Q like twice a day, every day, and yeah, I'm feeling a lot better in my gut. And it's like the strong foundation of that, you know, just continues to grow. So yeah, it's funny you were saying that. It just reminded me of, you know, what you guys said as well. So,
which is pretty cool, because like with Cosmic Q, like, a lot of people look for these quick fixes. Like, we have Impatience, we have like Amazon Prime that deliver immediately, we have Uber Eats that just drop food to our doorstep. And so now with our health, people just want quick results. But, you know, we got like Cosmic Q is like a digestion rehab. You know, rehab is a real results over a long period of time, but it's just about, you know, staying in the trenches and being consistent with it. And that's with SEO. You kind of just, you're chipping away, but the results compound over time, and Cosmic Hue is exactly the same. The results compound over time with consistent use.
Exactly. And so speaking of results, I mean, should we just go through a little bit about where you guys were, what kind of results we've got, where we're at now, that kind of thing? Does that sound good?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So yeah, just looking at, our kind of home base, which is the Google Search Console, basically how we're doing, in the search. We can see before, I've filtered it for the blog posts, which is kind of the key content we've been creating. In the future, we'll, be adjusting the product pages and doing site-wide orders and that kind of thing. But even just on the content SEO side, like this is, where we've been putting our main focus. Because like you said before, I mean, there were no blog posts on the site. So there was 0 clicks, 0 impressions, 0 people coming through, unless they already really knew fifth rate from, paid advertising. And then, like you say, as soon as you turn the tap off on that, it's like, where's that flow coming from? So, this was definitely like our core focus at the start, right? To really like get ourselves out there on organic search, free organic search, so that, we can rely on this channel to bring people in, even if, the taps go off or the ads aren't quite performing in the way that you want, that kind of thing, right? So, before, nothing was really there. And then, where we're at now, like you say, since we've been working with each other, we've got a total of 137,000 impressions, on Google search, which means that the articles we've written have been on people's like search. They've viewed it 137,000 times on Google search, and this is obviously not even including Bing or any other search ones. And it's also not even looking at, us coming up on AI, which, we've shown before, like our articles are ranking in generative AI as well, like Perplexity and ChatGPT. So this is just on Google, and 137,000. We've got over 1,000 unique clicks through. So, and we can just see this upward trajectory here over time. And like you say, we hope that continues into the future. So that's kind of how we're doing in terms of on Google search. The SEO content that we're writing, that's what it's bringing in, for you guys.
Yeah, it's incredible. The results speak for themselves.
Absolutely. And just to look actually what's happening on the site as well. So obviously Google Search Console is how we're doing in the searches, but actually on the site, how have we done, since we started? And, we've got, and this is again, just on the blog posts, but we've generated 3,190 unique people reading, the SEO content, the articles that we've been creating since we've been starting. And so, just thinking about how many of those people, you obviously in the articles we're linking through to Cosmic Hue, the product. So thinking about how many people that's, shown the brand to and pulled through to the product pages, and you can see in total, we've got, 4,777 views, which means like people have actually been on these articles 4,770 times since we started. So, once again, up from 0, that's, where we're at just at the moment. And you can see this upward trajectory. So, hopefully these numbers are just going to keep growing and growing, like compoundingly, so that's where we're at with that.
Incredible. Thank you.
Absolutely. And just another thing we did, at the start, our kind of 2 core focuses were, okay, let's get traffic coming in from content SEO, creating the articles in Google search, but also within search, which is, obviously our expertise, we want to get your product out there as well. And so what we did at the start was we set up Google Merchant Center, which, is just putting Cosmic Hue in the Google shopping tab on free organic searches. And from that, we've got 2,110 click-throughs. And so what that means is people have directly gone on Google search, they've typed in, plant tea or gut health tea or something along those lines. We've come up, you see 19,840 times on the impressions here since we set this up together, and 2,110 people have clicked through straight to the product page. And, your conversion rate on that product page. So, you can see how many sales you've got from that. So, that's also what we set up. Like you say, we're not just focusing on, the content SEO, which is all bringing in loads of people to the brand, but also we're focused on generating sales for you within search as an entire experience,
Absolutely, and this is kind of just been. I kind of feel like it's in the background, but even though it's in the background, it's done exceptionally well. Like again, the figures that you've highlighted, it's the free listing in the merchant center has been quite. It's been fruitful for FIFRA as well.
And again, it's that kind of steady one that you can rely on, even if you weren't paying for anything else, or even in combination with paid ads. It's like it's a steady thing you can rely on to bring sales in for you, month on month.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So again, there was zero traffic coming in with blogs, zero click-throughs on Google Shopping. So we've changed those for you, which is great. And then just to highlight kind of how we're doing again, just on the articles and the content SEO side of things, this is how Fifth Ray is doing. Obviously we're doing site audits for you, fixing technical issues, making sure everything is good on the site within
Yes.
SEMrush. And then actually, how are we doing in terms of, well, our organic traffic? And we see here, before it was 0, 100, and now we're up to, 1,000 per month in terms of organic traffic. And then actually what I want to bring our attention to is this organic keywords bit. So before, the amount of keywords we were ranking for was maybe 5. You see that where it says total, like 11, 5, 2, in summer, autumn last year before we started. And basically, those words are going to be Fifth Ray, Cosmic Hue, the branded keyword terms. But you see there's just been like an explosion in the number of keywords that we're ranking for. And so we're not only just ranking for the branded keyword terms, we're on Google search for 989 different keywords now. So we're really expanding that reach. And if I just show you how we're doing in terms of like the top 3 and everything, and the 4 to 10, so the top 10. So where we're coming up on the first page of Google for these keywords, you can see at the start, even October, November, it's a slow burner. But now, you look April, May, the SERP features, which are the AI overviews, the people also ask, like the kind of non-link ones that
Yes.
we want to be coming up to. You see there's just been an explosion of that, even just in the last 2 months. So, continually that will keep going up as we keep going on this path, really. So I just wanted to highlight that to you as well, that, we're not only ranking just for your branded terms, but we're really expanding Fifth Ray's reach within the search and bringing people in, thousands of people in to Fifth Ray, providing value to them with the articles and content SEO, and then, bringing them through to the product page and converting them from there, as well as the product being on Google search, the shopping tab, and bringing people in like that. So it all kind of works together, just to get Fifth Ray out there, get more people, buying your product, really.
Brilliant.
Nice. So that's where we're at now in terms of metrics. What a question for you is like, what has been, I guess, some of your favorite moments, I guess, from when we've been working together, because we've done a lot of things, over the period of time that we've been working together in the sprint, and then now on the supernova. So yeah, what are some of the kind of highlights for you, I guess, over this process so far?
Yeah, good question. I think I'll start with the short-term memories. One of the articles that you wrote, I believe it was around gluten, was ranked higher than Harvard University in Google. I thought that was pretty cool. That's something you can shout about and be like, I was saying it to a few people. I was like, oh, we ranked higher than Harvard University. I was like, oh, really? You ranked higher than Harvard?
Schooling Harvard, I think.
Yeah. That's it. We're schooling Harvard now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So that was a pretty cool milestone. Obviously, the 100K blog impression, that's a huge milestone, and that obviously compounded over the period of time. I would say, like, in terms of key moments, like SEO is one of them things where I'm like, it's all quite exciting because like the presence on Google is just getting stronger and stronger each week and each month. But I would say in terms of like the milestones and the highlights, I'd say the consistency with the blogs, like reading your blog articles are incredible. Like I enjoy them, Gurge enjoys reading them. Like we read all them blogs, and there's over 50 articles now on the website that you've created yourself. And like the level of knowledge and expertise and authority that goes into them, and obviously following the the model of the EEAT, like, and that's consistent throughout these articles. So like, maybe it's not a specific highlight, but it's more of an overall the consistency. I like the standards aren't like, you're not finding a place of comfort or complacency. In fact, things just keep getting better. And another thing I'd add to that is that you expand outside of your core remit of organic search. Like, how can we implement these articles to be multi-purpose for, newsletters and social media and these different areas, and LinkedIn posts as well, which is what you're working on currently. Like, I love the flexibility as well. So I would say that's a highlight too.
Brilliant. And how has this been an easy process for you guys? Like, I try and make it as seamless as possible. So we meet once a month for an hour, and then we're kind of set for the next month. So has this been like an easy process for you, or how have you found that side of things?
100% easy. Like, if I was to compare this to like other agencies that I work with that are obviously not SEO, but just in other areas of the business, like, I know who I need to just constantly like QA their work. Like, and there's other people I'm constantly QAing, like, this needs changing, this is wrong, or this should be amended in some fashion. And it feels like I'm their lead QA in a lot of ways, because like, I shouldn't be doing that at all. But when it comes to you, I know, like, I have so much trust in your quality of work. Like, I can't remember. I could probably can count on one hand the feedback in terms of changes that I've given in since November, and that is probably the most trivial thing of like change, like plant-based to plant, something so minute, but it's been really easy to work with yourself. Like, I know when it comes to SEO and working with yourself, I'm like Dom's one of them people that I could just leave him to it, and I know your quality of work will be really high, and you're passionate about helping Fifth Ray grow as well. And that's, I've worked with other agencies, again, non-SEO, where we're just a business to them. They're interested in building their business more than they are in helping their clients. And I don't have that impression from yourself. Like, of course, you're building your agency, and I'm excited for you to build and your agency and grow to greater heights. But I can see that you're invested in Fifth Ray as a brand. You invested in us as founders, and you're excited to be an integral part of our growth. And that's why it makes it easy, because you have that kind of not just interest, but you're also like that investment and it's probably more of an emotional investment than anything else. So yeah, just to kind of highlight, super easy.
Amazing. No, I'm glad it's been easy for you guys. There's nothing worse than, like you say, you just like feel like you could spend less time just doing it yourself, rather than like, keep going back and just giving loads of feedback and all that sort of stuff. So
Sure.
no, that's really good. And honestly, I mean, it's just a small thing, but a high digital, like, I'm always we call businesses that we work with partners rather than clients, because like really like trying to partner with them to like be invested and aligned to grow. So yeah, it's just a small thing, but no, I'm glad that you kind of feel that from me and from us as well. So okay, perfect. And then just the final question really is just like, what, especially maybe just focusing a little bit on the generative AI, because that's something that really want to try to build out. Like, they called it GEO instead of SEO, like generative engine optimization, which is, I think, the new frontier in search, or bringing people in like that. So yeah, what are you kind of looking forward to on that side of things, as well as kind of everything else? But yeah, what are you most looking forward to continuing to do, and especially in that kind of generative engine optimization, fancy way of saying, being on AI and bringing in people from that kind of search rather than just the search engines?
I think that's the next logical step for the future of search. Like, me, as just for myself, I use ChatGPT and Perplexity for search constantly. The only time I use like Google or any like search engine is just if I need to go on a specific website, or if I use a browser, shall I say, rather than a search engine, to go on a specific website. So for us, like, the information that we're providing around health, like Fifth Ray, I want us to be an authority of holistic natural health, and for us to be on like GEO and ranking on that, like that's super important for Fifth Ray. Like I, from a personal point of view, like when I search for anything health related and I look at the first page of Google, it's like the Mayo Clinic, Healthline, WebMD,
Yeah.
and these guys have such a strong authority, but their information is filtered and it's biased in the sense of like it's trying to pull people away from natural ways of healing and talk about like it kind of it's I think it's a bit of misinformation, because as much as they have the authority and people trust it for obvious reasons, but they don't want you to they don't promote the natural or the holistic ways of healing. They touch on it and talk about it,
They
but they
kind of come
don't.
at it from the other side, don't they, of trying to like, fix the symptoms rather than, heal.
Yeah, of course. And for us being on like ranking on say AI, I want us to be at the forefront of like, if for people who want to move away from the medication, not medication, I cancel that one, but like the traditional medical advice, shall I say, and looking for that alternative where they can have empowerment and control. Because like for me, I would, when I search say something health related, like today actually I've got a bit of a soreness here on my left cheek. But I had a filling a couple of weeks ago and it was a deep filling. So I had a feeling it was linked to that. So then I've just searched like what could be the causes. And actually it was a really fair response. It wasn't like, going down like the fear-based route of where these other websites who rank number one on the first page of Google, which is like it's vague. Like it may can do this. It makes people scared and fearful. Whereas actually the results were just quite soft, in the sense it was more like realistic and like, all right, cool, it could be X, Y, or Z. So yeah, just to condense my answer briefly, like it's important for Fifth Ray to be an authority in GEO and to actually shift the way search is done. So like people are getting like the full picture of answers. Yeah, they're getting the traditional medical advice, but they're still getting like the natural holistic advice as well. So they can kind of have the balance, or depending on what they're looking for, either get one or the other. Like for me, I would lean towards natural advice and kind of refer to the traditional medical advice as maybe as a cross reference, but I wouldn't necessarily go down that path at all. I just kind of
Yeah.
have it more for context, if that makes sense.
Brilliant. And no, we're working, we're always keeping an eye out, especially, I mean, ChatGPT rolling out, more product-based stuff in there as well, like linking through, like ChatGPT shopping, like that's
Yeah, yes, yeah.
more and more forward. So, we're going to be all over that for Fifth Ray, and want to make you guys at the forefront of that.